All right, I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. I just wanted to do a quick live session to see and update you on what's happening in the trucking world today and maybe talk about some trucks. If you are looking to buy a truck, don't hesitate to ask any questions, or if you need some help or you want to talk about trucks, just put it in the chat. I'm still trying to figure this new setup, and I didn't have time to really do what I wanted with my live setup, but as of right now, I'm just testing new things. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'm just talking to myself. There's music playing in the background too. I don't know if anybody can hop on the chat and tell me if it's too loud or not. And I will dive into some news that happened this week. There was some crazy stuff with EPA going on, which is going to be some good news. It's so hard to talk to yourself. I never done that before. All right, I'll start. Good evening from Iowa, Cali boy. Hey, how are you doing, brother? Are you driving? Where are you at? Tell me where you guys are at. Where are you guys traveling? Or pulling loads? Or are you resetting? What are you doing? Your 10-hour reset? Yep, loud. Can hear you. Music's loud? Tell me yes or no. I'll turn it off if it's too loud. I don't know why I like music in the background. It just feels like I'm not lonely. Good. Just got home earlier. I work locally. Great. One of my guys just had an issue with electrical, and he is somewhere in the middle of Texas, I think. Cali boy, what type of work do you do? Chime in and I'll warm this up. We got people maybe joining. I want to go through some of the news that have been happening. I think the biggest one is the EPA situation with how they're trying to stop the. Well, let me read what I found. So the death relief, right to repair. The EPA has officially demanded data from engine manufacturers regarding diesel exhaust fluid sensor failures. I like how they put it, whoever wrote it, diesel exhaust fluid sensor failures. Like that's like the death is the issue here. They are pushing a right to repair stance that stops trucks from being forced into limp mode, derated to 5 miles per hour just because a sensor fails. The new guidance allows drivers to temporarily override emission shutdowns to finish their runs or get to a shop rather than being stranded. Crazy. I mean, we needed to get a new president to have somebody finally wake up and look at the trucking industry and realize that that is one of the main issues with trucks right now. You're buying a brand new truck, which happened to me 1,000 miles later, you're derated, you got to tow the truck. They just dropped it for the farmers, so I hope they actually do something about the truckers, because that needs to change. It's absolutely ridiculous that owner-ops, small trucking companies have to deal with all this emission bullshit, and we pay the bills for it. And it just doesn't make sense. You have a perfectly running engine and your NOx sensor fails and you can only drive 5 miles. Crazy. I mean, it's frustrating. I know many of us share the same view. I don't know what owner, operator, or small trucking company will be pro DPF and emission control, especially with the law in California where they don't even let you drive into the state. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm a little grumpy today. I haven't slept much. Cali boy, I haul grain around Iowa and move equipment around the farm. That's awesome. What truck do you have, Cali? Tell us, what truck do you have? So what are your thoughts on the federal law about non-enforcing CARB-compliant trucks, or what was the law that was proposed? Yeah, they should completely drop it like they did for the farmers. I think it's only made it a lot harder for owner-operators and small businesses to be able to operate. It's just way too expensive. And they got rid of the glider law. And I would totally be okay with the glider law coming back, which we should, I think, push for the most. The gliders were the best thing that ever happened to trucking, and we should bring it back. Open up the law and have shops build gliders again, because that is the only hope for owner operators. And what nobody talks about is how we actually pretend that nobody's deleting the trucks. I mean, every owner operator you're gonna find at a truck stop with a newer truck is most likely deleted. So that is my 5 cents. I would really. So does that mean you can go into Cali now without getting messed with it? No, I don't think you can go to it. Nothing was done yet. So what they did, they just asked the manufacturers to provide the data. Nothing was passed. They're gonna work on it. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. I think they're going to do something about it, because it's really, with the really bad market for the last 3-4 years plus emissions, it's absolutely brutal for trucking companies to survive this. What else do we got? The FMCSA clarifies English proficiency save zones. There was confusion about drivers being placed out of service for not speaking English. The FMCSA clarified this week that while failing English proficiency is a valid out-of-service violation, there are designated border commercial zones where these rules are more lenient to facilitate cross-border trade. However, new legislation is pushing to make English proficiency check stricter nationwide. Yeah, the cross-border is one thing. Not speaking drivers is another thing that just live in the US. I'm an immigrant and I had to learn not only, I didn't speak when I came here when I was 20. I learned at 24, 25, really worked hard to get my English to a level where I can actually talk to people. I do some basic English has to be required because you have to pass the CDL test and you have to be at least fluent enough to just be able to communicate, I think. 5 people. Say hi, everybody. Tell me where you guys from. Is anybody traveling anywhere or pulling loads right now or driving? Well, hopefully you're not driving and watching this, or you can listen but don't watch it. Safety first. Freight market stabilization. The early February economic reports are out. The freight recession is technically stabilizing. Why? Because enough carriers have unfortunately gone out of business to reduce the oversupply of trucks. Rejection rates and spot rates saw a tiny bump due to winter weather and capacity exiting the market. It's not a boom yet, but the free fall seems to be over. We'll see. If I had a crystal ball, any type of weather situation is going to cause that type of rate spike. But if it stays, great. If not, I don't mind the winter to be a little bit longer. I appreciate your knowledge and time, bro. Not a problem, guys. I'm here to, I don't know. I didn't bring anything as far as trucks. I like talking about trucks. So tell me, guys, what you guys are driving. I've been helping some owner operators buy some trucks, and I can tell you the prices are definitely going up a little bit. I've been watching the market for a while now, and it's interesting. Some of the pricing went up, and on the East Coast for some reason I see a lot of trucks that are a little bit higher priced than Midwest. So some of my group members are purchasing. I'm helping them buy trucks, and we are looking at multiple, anywhere between newer emission trucks to pre-emission classics, and it's kind of crazy. What else we got over here? Knight Transportation shakeup leadership, a major move in the corporate world. Knight Transportation named a new president this week, a former CEO of PAM Transport. When giants like Knight make leadership changes, it often signals a shift in strategy that could ripple out to rates and hiring trends in 2026. Somebody has that's Callie is driving 2014 P389 Cat powered 18-speed 355 rears. Nice. It's a good one. Those 389s are nice, minus the emissions, obviously. I had the 386 glider, and I really like those. Those are great trucks. Either that or the 579 glider is pretty good. Cat powered. Is that a C15? Super Bowl security, mobile X-rays. If you're, what is that? Not important. Put a cat in it. That's interesting. Yeah, the X15. That's why it surprised me with that cat, because the X15 they came with the X15, right? So that's interesting. Retrofitted the cat, pretty cool. Tell me how that went. How's that going? Because that's actually, when you think about it, the harness, and it's an 18-speed. Yeah, somebody's asking, how do you get a cat in a 2018 Peterbilt? Well, you can pull out the truck, the engine out of it, and have somebody figure out how to retrofit a C15 in it, or 3406. That would be fun. Which, by the way, I want to clarify, this is not building a glider. Some guys think that if they pull the emission engines out of emission trucks and they put pre-emission, they make a glider. No, glider is a designated VIN built by a manufacturer, sold to somebody that will put the drivetrain in it. What should a person look for in a new truck as far as quality, name brand? It depends. If you are looking for reliability, you can get the most common truck, which is DD15 Cascadia with a DT12. You can pretty much, it's a Camry of semi-trucks. Parts everywhere, comfortable to drive, Just, I can tell you right now with my experience, the 22s, we have quite few of 2022s and 20s that are pretty good so far compared to the internationals day and night. William Osborne says, I thought you bought emissions truck, you had to keep the emissions on it. So how could you put a cat in it when a cat's not running emissions if you don't have to do that? Well, you can do that. But since we're all anonymous on the internet, you can say whatever you want. So yes, you can definitely do it. And I know people that swapped and retrofitted engines, even old Detroits. If somebody's going to pull you into a scale, I don't think they're going to know what they're looking at. I've never known anybody that got caught doing that. But yes, this is definitely not a recommended. You have to figure out multiple things. On the manual, it's a little easier. Just the harness itself, trying to figure out the gauges, that's going to be a headache. I would want you, Cali Boy, share some. I don't know if you know how they built it and what they did, but if you know if they had any issues retrofitting that C15, put it in the chat. Diesel prices spike for a third straight week. The national average for diesel has officially climbed again, hitting roughly $3.68 per gallon. Yeah, when is that going to go down? We just got new source of oil. It would be nice if the fuel dropped a little bit. This is the third consecutive week of price hikes. Analysts are blaming a mix of tighter crude supplies and the recent winter storms increasing demand for heating oil. Well, that makes sense, but the constraint in supply, I don't understand that. Nice. Somebody's putting cats in emission trucks. Well, that works. You got to do what you got to do. Some guys delete, some guys swap the retrofit. You got to survive this crazy regulations. The Fern effect is keeping rates up. Winter storm Fern messed up supply chains so badly that spot rates haven't crashed yet. The details. Usually February is the deadest month of the year, because winter storm froze up south and northeast, capacity tightened significantly. Yes, that's usually the case. That's what gets us usually to the spring produce season too. William's looking at trucks. I don't want to deal with the emission stuff, so I've been looking at pre-emission stuff. But if I can yank the emissions engine out, I would do that. I don't know, William. I would tell you, if you're gonna do all that work, because it is gonna be a project and a half to do this, just look at a glider. Don't even think twice about anything else. You can still snatch. I would rather buy a higher mileage glider than deal with the headaches, unless you have access to a shop and you know they're going to do a good job, because then that can cause also headaches for you down the road. Hopefully not, but it is a pretty complicated job. Or buy something classic. I always recommend looking at some well-maintained classic 90 B79s. I mean, you cannot go wrong with those trucks, and they hold value pretty good too. Nice. Somebody did all the ECM program. Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, if that's been working for you, that's great. It's a great setup. Pilot, Flying J, and Tesla partnership. Pilot is officially adding Tesla semi-chargers to 20 more locations. We aren't just talking about car chargers anymore. Pilot confirmed that they are installing heavy-duty charger infrastructure to locations in Texas, Georgia, and Nevada. I've not seen an electric Tesla out, or any electric truck. Oh no, I take that back. I do see some electric Chinese cab-overs in Chicago. Dimeri, I'm telling you guys, my brain is half dead today. So Dimeri says, did you see where Fitzgerald was selling all their old stock motors, Detroit Cats motors? I believe it was out of Tennessee. Fitzgerald built all. I actually bought some from them directly. Awesome facility. I got a tour. Beautiful place. Obviously, they're not doing it anymore, but they had a really nice setup. And the only thing from experience, they usually need a rebuild faster than the factory reman. But they did a good job. They did nice work with those gliders, and I wish they came back. I wish they opened up the facility again and start cranking those out. USPS and Walmart go all in on electric. Two of the biggest shippers in the country just dropped massive EV orders. The USPS confirmed an order for 45,000 electric delivery vehicles, and Walmart committed to 10,000 electric vans / trucks. We'll see how that's going to work out. William says, I've been looking at the 379s with cats in them. They're just older, so I was trying to avoid a lot of just small wear and tear stuff like electric. Yeah, I've been looking at those 379s because one of my group members were trying to find a classic, really good, well taken care of. There's the prices are crazy though. Some of them are in the 80s, really well maintained trucks of rebuilds, recent rebuilds. So I don't know. I would want to see how quickly they sell. I don't know if I can figure out that how to maybe track what sells, because at that price point I would rather buy a glider. Yeah, William's in the Seattle area and he never seen a electric truck. Yeah, I haven't seen. I don't know why they're putting those, which is fine. We gotta test it out. I want to see. It would be kind of cool to test out the electric, because quite frankly, if you're looking at the emission systems, if the emission systems will stay and the EPA is not going to change the rule for the trucking industry, then I think electric is, as much as right now the range doesn't make sense, but I think that should be the way to go, because we took this beautiful marvel of engineering, which is a diesel engine, and we just stuck all the emissions on it and made it so unreliable. It's crazy. So I guess electric would be the way to go if we can make it work on range and how fast we can charge them, because from what I know, I think it's like 12 hours to charge the whole thing. But right, that's all I got for you guys. I was gonna hang out for 30 minutes, have some fun, see who's out there, and if you guys have any questions before I take off, the Cat Acerts are good. The twin turbo setup on it, I don't have much experience with them. I had 1 or 2 at the shop, and they used to have a bad rap, but now I think they're kind of starting to, you just have to know how to work on them, and they're pretty reliable. They were trying to cut the emissions. They were avoiding the EGR valve on it, and the twin turbo setup is a little different than what most of the manufacturers did, but it's a pretty good engine if it's well maintained. Those are good engines. The C15 obviously is my favorite as far as cats. My email, just go to trucku.com. You're going to see all my contact there. You can drop your email or fill out the contact form or join our group if you guys are thinking about trucks or you want to be part of a community with owner ops that are building their businesses and growing and learning. Then just go to trucku.com and their link is right there. You just click it. The free group, everybody's there. We hang out there a lot. We do hangouts. I have a Saturday hangout also for all the members, and we just talk trucks and help each other in business. So I will not give my email on YouTube Live. But if you guys have any questions as far as trucks or anything related to owner operator, any issues or anything that I might be able to help, I'll give it a shot. We have a great group over there, about almost 800 owner operators. Thank you guys, appreciate you. I will hop off and I'll see you next week. I'll try to do it weekly, and be safe, don't do anything crazy, stay warm, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a good night.